Floored-U-Cation is now supported in part by Tools for Flooring. Tools for Flooring is dedicated to providing you with the largest selection of quality flooring tools, installation supplies, and accessories from the industry's top brands. They carry everything from hand tools for installing carpet, tile, and wood floors to a full range of surface preparation equipment. Plus, they offer installation products including adhesives, tapes, cove base, transitions, and more. Tool and equipment orders over $75 ship for free to your home, office, or even the job site. Check out toolsforflooring.com. That's tools, the number 4, flooring.com. Welcome to the Floored-U-Cation podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Hedin, owner of Illustrious Hardwoods in Phoenix, Arizona. We're here to talk with contractors from all across the country about the issues that matter to you. What's up, Floored-U-Cation listeners? This is going to be a little bit different of an episode. It's the holidays. People are busy. I've had trouble trying to schedule stuff. I have been dealing with a difficult install at my mother-in-law's. I finally got it wrapped up last night. What should have taken, what I estimated 5 days, took 7. The wreck that I had on the way to Wisconsin ate up at least a day dealing with repair shops and stuff. It's just, this whole trip has become a mess. 2019 has been a challenging year for the business. With it being my second year in business, there's been a lot of growing pains, a lot of things learned. I think year 3 will be great, but to close out this year of 2019, this decade, on this note of feeling like I'm just in flames and things can't get any worse. I'm glad I live in Phoenix because now I can go into 2020 and I can feel like a phoenix. I'm gonna come out of this. I'm gonna be reborn, and I'm gonna put my best foot forward and focus really hard and just continue to grow what it is that I've been working on. So what I realized is I've been putting these out for 3 months, and I've never told anybody really who I am, why I do this, and how I got into flooring. Some of you guys know, I know we've had personal conversations, but for the most part, I've got like 200 people a week listening to this, and they have no idea who I am or why they should listen. So here we go. I'm Kyle. Let's see. I've been doing flooring now for June of 2020. I'll make 5 years. I've been out on my own for a little over 2. And I needed a job 5 years ago. It was, I was doing reality television. I worked my way up from being the van driver, go get lunch, take out trash guy, to being a camera operator. And it was a blast. Traveled all over the country, loved it. Got to do some really creative stuff when shooting. But it turns out that my strong personality is how I'll put that, doesn't go well with a lot of the people that I was working with. And so the calls that I was getting to do shows kind of slowed down, and I needed to figure something else out. So I started thinking about all the different skills I had, and I took wood shop in middle school and high school. I always loved working with wood, building things. It was kind of one of the only classes I got at the time in high school because I instantly got a reward. I didn't have to worry about being able to, figure out if I was going to use the chemistry in 20 years and what that meant to my life, or, do I need to be able to write this paper correctly? I could build something. I could sand that piece of wood all day. I could do whatever I was doing in there. There was an instant result that you could see. And then at the end of, a couple weeks, you got to take home a project. I still have a coffee table and a bed that I built from that time. And they're just good quality pieces of furniture. So I started going through trades, and I was like, okay, I can be a framer. I could be a plumber. I could be an electrician. And I was like, oh, like wood flooring. I came upon that, and I looked up just like 30 different contractors in my area, called them all, left a message because nobody really answered their phone. Go figure. It's kind of a contractor thing. Two guys called me back and both offered me jobs. I worked for both of them and got the minimum 2 years experience that I needed. And then I knew from the beginning that I wanted to go out on my own. I already knew that with the way my personality is, especially from seeing it for the last time in the reality television world, I needed to go and be the boss. I had to be in control. I wanted to do things my way. So I trained, I learned. The first guy that I worked with was a sand and finish guy, and that was awesome. I really wish that I could have gotten more experience in that world and stayed in that world. It's just such craftsmanship that goes into a really good floor that's sanded and finished on site, and you can get very creative with how you do that. So at some point, if I can get what I'm doing now off the ground and come up with $60K and buy some tools, I would love to teach myself or go work for somebody for $12 an hour while I have a company bringing in more than that and get my experience there. That I would I just want to get back in that world. I think that it's awesome. So, I went out on my own, and I was very fortunate that early on I found groups like Flooring Installers of America, and I was able to see what different guys were putting out, different tools that I hadn't seen on the job site. Just there was so much more out there. I could, and I was able to get that knowledge. I was hungry, and I wanted to learn as much as I could. And you could get that business knowledge. And so all of that kind of, it put me in the right direction from the very beginning to move in a way that was growth oriented, that was making sure that I was going to be profitable, that just put my best foot forward. And it really put it as education focused as possible. So I went looking for, I listen to podcasts already, and somebody had pointed me into some business management ones and marketing ones, and I was listening to stuff like that. And so one day I just hit the search and I typed in floor and flooring or wood flooring, and I couldn't find anything. And so that's where the idea for Floored-U-Cation came from. Was I said, I know how that equipment works. I have a background with it. It's not, my proficiency isn't that great, but I can do that. So that's where this show was born from. That's how I got into the business. And now I have a blast because I'm still an idiot. I don't know everything. I am a baby in this industry, and I'm still just hungry. So for me to be able to call around and talk to guys that have been doing it 10, 20, 30 years, even Rowland has been doing it longer than I've been alive. And he was amazing to talk to. He is just a lake of knowledge that you can get out of him. So for me to be able to call and talk with everybody I'm still getting educated. I just facilitate a conversation, and as much as you all enjoy listening, I enjoy doing it for the exact same reasons, because I'm learning as I do this. So the show has a lot of potential. We all have a lot of potential. If you're here listening to this, you're already ahead of 90% of the other installers. You're looking for something that others aren't. You're looking to get more out of your business, more out of your career, more out of your life, your investment. So you're already doing better than so many others. And that's what it comes down to. Is I've just, like I said, I was hungry for information. And so now I'm finding a way to get it out there. One of the things I've done is I cut out music in my day. So yeah, it can be boring. You're working on a floor for 8 hours a day. You know, you want to stay pumped up. You want to stay moving. You need that energy. And so you want to listen to that music. Well, I've cut out music at least 50% of the time. And I'm doing audiobooks. I'm doing the podcasts just to get information. I don't have time to go to school when I'm done working. So, you know, yeah, it'd be great to go take some business management classes or something like that. I've got a family. I try and get to my jobs at 7. I try and leave by 3, no later than 4. So I put in like an honest 8-9 hours of work every day. And then I got to get home. We have scouts on Monday night. So we go and do Cub Scouts. Soon I'm going to be doing Cub Scouts on Monday nights and Boy Scouts on another night of the week because my son's about ready to cross over. There's swim lessons. There's school functions, there's family stuff going on. I've still got to find time to do the estimates in the evening because I'm installing all day. So you guys know you're doing the same thing. So I don't have time to go to school. So I have to double up. And I'm trying to get my education during the day while I'm making money. You know, you're there, you go to school and you're paying money. And a lot of good money to get that education. Well, now I found a way to get information for free, and maybe, you know, okay, I got to spend like $20 on an audiobook. Well, that's really cheap. But someone's going to give you hard learned lessons for $20, and you can sit there and make that money back instantly by putting a floor in, okay? So if you're getting an average of $2 a square foot on your vinyl plank or something like that, go install 10 square feet and you paid for the book. Now you can listen to it the rest of the day and everything else is profit. It's simple. It's easy. You're there anyways. You're going to be listening to something probably. Turn it on. Start learning. Because it's going to make a huge difference if you continue to educate yourself. You can't stop learning. When you become complacent, you've settled and you're never going to look for anything better. You're just going to say, this is as good as it gets, and I'm happy here. And you can't be there. That's not where you want to be. I was that way for years. I hated when I was in film school. It was like the worst 3 years of my life. I hate school. I don't want to be there. And I didn't want to learn. I didn't read anymore. Something would really, really have to get my attention when I was doing film stuff. And usually it was just like, I'd read up on the latest camera and be like, okay, I know how to use it now, like whatever. But I wasn't like thirsty for the knowledge like I am with flooring. When I got into flooring, I was getting trade magazines and reading them. I was finding forums to talk about it and look at it more. Like I love this. And I love the people that I've found that are so encouraging and are part of this community. And so you've got to go and get that information. You've got to get it into you no matter what. And then you're going to grow. Without it, you're just going to sit there and say, you're going to become one of the guys that says, I've been doing it 30 years and that's just the way it's done. Well, over 30 years, there's probably been better ways to develop. So go find out about them. And maybe they're not better. Maybe they're just different ways to skin a cat. But it's good to have different solutions to the same problem. You've got to stay up on everything. So I don't know. There's my rant. I don't know, man. I don't know what to talk about. It's the mission here is big. There's a lot of people that don't put emphasis on craftsmanship. You know, you can still go on Craigslist, you can go on the community Facebook groups, and you're going to see those stair-step guys. You're going to see guys offering installation for $1 square foot. That's what I want to see change. I want to bring back pride in the trades. I want to help encourage craftsmanship. I think that as the economy improves, some of that will come with it, just because people will be able to afford better things. If there is a recession, I think you can prepare to weather that and still increase your rates and continue on. You just have to find that right clientele. You don't have to give away your services. And as we bring in new younger kids, we've got to train them to go and get this information. We've got to show them that they can't stop learning, that they need to push the limits, that they can do better, that just because a product's made to do one thing doesn't mean that you can't take it and do another and get creative with it, you know? Just because a click lock vinyl floor is made to go straight doesn't mean that you couldn't sit there and cut off all of the locking mechanisms and turn it into a herringbone pattern if the dimensions were right. It's possible. It's going to be a pain. It's going to take a long time, but you could do it. So, you know, you've got to think outside the box sometimes and get creative. But that's what we need to show people, is that you can take pride in what you do. You can get creative. You can have fun. You can seek that knowledge, and you can grow an interest in it and make trades sexy again. It's not the college agenda was pushed for far too long, and there's too many people with college degrees and they're working as a barista. You know, there's tons of openings. We have to go and fix the problem as the installers, as the people on the front lines. We need to go and fix it. We need to find the young kids to get involved and make it look attractive to them, because look, I love what I do. It's fun. And you just got to find the right kids to get involved, and you can do it. Plans. What do I want to do with the show? I want to keep making episodes. I want to keep talking to people from all over about everything, from running a store to hiring employees to, I don't know, new products coming out, just, you know, the industry as a whole. I just want to continue to talk about it and get that information out there. I know I've set up that Patreon account, and it's there. If anyone wants to go to patreon.com/Floored-U-Cation and donate, that would be awesome. Honestly, the show it's a big time investment. The average episode probably takes 4 to 5 hours to make between the Floored-U-Cation Pro and the Floored-U-Cation episodes for each week. By the time I'm done recording, I go back and I listen to it. I cut things down. I add in the bumpers, get them uploaded, plus the cost of running it and having the site. Like there's a little bit of an investment there. Am I going to keep doing it if you don't donate? Yes. If there was a little monetary incentive, I'm going to be even happier to do it. So if you feel that you get value out of this and you want to donate, I would love that. I do want to look for sponsorships. So if we start hearing, you know, ads or something like that, that's why. I'm just trying to make this worth my while still being able to get you the content. If none of that happens, I'm still going to produce it. I enjoy what I'm doing. I don't know that I'll be able to guarantee that it's going to be weekly like it has been. It's been really tough. And I came up with this idea back before Surfaces last year. So it was probably about this time last year that I really came up with this idea. And then when I had heard that Ken and Alan got back from competing at the National Installer of the Year competition at Surfaces, I asked them if that could be the initial episode, and they were down to do it. And then it sat on my computer for darn near, I think we recorded in February, and I started putting these out in September. So they just sat there. And one was that the business picked up and I got busy, and I didn't know how I was going to fit things in. And then a couple other people came along with podcasts, and I said, I'm going to miss the boat on this, so I need to just do it. And now I've jumped in and I'm committed to it. But man, I'll tell you what, it is when the business gets busy and you're having to do that during the summer. I don't know how I would have been able to do it. I'm going to have to really work on time management skills this year in order to keep up with it, just to be able to do estimates and record and get it out and get installs done. It's just, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts, trying to coordinate schedules with somebody else that's going through the same things as you. Boy, it's interesting, and I've been cramming in all the Tile Money episodes. If you're not listening to Tile Money, I highly recommend it. Luke Miller is awesome. So shout out to him. I know he gives us a listen over here. He's been doing it for over a year when he was still running his business. And even now, that's his whole focus, is just doing Tile Money. But it's a big job just to keep that going and develop it and stuff. So I know he gets it. I know some of you guys get it. It's interesting to try and be doing two things at once. I'm just going to have to get really good at time management, but there's another thing. I think there's a book called The Miracle Morning, and that's one that I need to get and listen to, and it goes over some time management stuff and how to start your day so that you can get off on the right foot. So that's probably going to happen early in January. I'll get that one going. Man, a lot of ums and ands and pauses, and this is just real. This is out of my head. This is internal monologue coming at you. Just kind of, like I said, who am I? What am I doing here? I'm always asking for guests at the end of the episodes. Honestly, guys, don't be scared to call. You can ask anyone that's been on. They've all been nervous when I ask them to do it. It honestly turns into two people discussing flooring for about 2 hours to get both episodes recorded. It's really fun. It's just two people having a conversation about flooring. And if you're passionate about it, you're going to love it. You're not even going to think about being recorded after the first 10 minutes. It just starts flowing. So send me an email, floored-education@gmail.com. Questions, comments, anything like that. Check out the Facebook group. We got that going now at Floored-U-Cation. There's dashes in between the words, but it's just Floored, FLOORED-U-Cation. So we got that going on. The group's growing, getting some members there. Plug the Patreon. I got the YouTube channel up for Floored-U-Cation Pro. I haven't gotten the early episodes of Floored-U-Cation exported to YouTube yet. I'm going to be working on that and trying to get those up soon, hopefully. And then we'll get that channel going. It's just another place to listen. The Floored-U-Cation podcast. I get a lot of people that, they're listening to both and they don't quite understand what I'm doing there. So Floored-U-Cation is made for homeowners. It's made for people that are maybe just looking for information on flooring. It's made for people that maybe are DIYers. And it's just getting information out to the homeowner. I want to get them informed. I want to get them educated. It's kind of a different approach to marketing. I haven't seen anybody really doing it yet, so I'm either way ahead of the curve on this, and we all can be, or it's gonna be a flop, but time will tell. So here's the thing. Those episodes, post them. Put them in your local community Facebook groups, put them on your Facebook page, link to them on your website if you want. I'm going to try and get transcripts going, and then that will help draw attention because it's searchable content for Google. But those are there to educate potential clients that you'll have. And I've always found that giving education and information away is great. Honestly, a true DIYer was probably never going to be our client anyways. So let them have the information so that they can do the best job possible. But a lot of people, they get halfway into it and they're going to say, I don't want to do this. This is hard. I'm just going to hire somebody. And those are the people we're after. Or maybe someone's just looking to get some information about flooring in general. And when we talk about how to hire a contractor, they've had really bad experiences. So now they can be more informed on what to look for, what questions to ask, how the process is going to go. And we've given that all to them. So you can put that content out there, and now you're the hero because you're putting that content out for free. You're just here, have this. This is yours to listen to, no charge. But because you're providing that resource, you're ahead of the competition in your area and the other businesses in your area because they're not putting out anything. They may not have a blog. They may not have any kind of education system for their clients. And you have a backlog of, I think, like 12 episodes at this point that'll only continue to grow. So who are you going to go with? Are you going to go with the guy that's giving you resources to be better informed? Or are you going to go with the guy that has absolutely nothing? Well, personally, I'm going to go with the person that has resources most likely because they look better. They look more proactive. They look more knowledgeable. And if you want to be on the show, I mean, it gets to spotlight you. So you get a free episode where you're the spotlight of it. So it's just in my opinion, I think it's a great marketing tool. What else is going on? I think that's it. Like I said, tomorrow's Christmas. That's when this is going to be coming out. Merry Christmas to everyone. I should be getting a new truck on Saturday. If you haven't seen, I'll have to put some pictures up in the Floored-U-Cation group. I know I put some up in Flooring Installers of America. That's if I'm not in Floored-U-Cation, then I'm probably hanging out on Flooring Installers of America. I'll have to put some pictures up in there. But the truck didn't really take that much damage. They're going to total it out just because it would have cost so much to fix. And the trailer that I had just bought and owned for 5 days was trashed. I had to get some new tools. The flooring, thankfully, survived. Bunch of corners were chipped and stuff. I probably wasted like 3 boxes of pieces that were chipped out because they got damaged in the wreck. But my wife did a great job of saving the truck when the trailer was swerving around behind her, and very proud of her. Very thankful that myself and my wife, my kids are safe, and nobody got hurt. Nobody else on the road got hurt. But dealing with the insurance when you're in another state and you need to get a vehicle to get home. I'm buying a truck sight unseen from Illinois, which is crazy in my mind. It's got low miles. It's got everything that I wanted in this F-150 that I had just bought and now is being totaled out. So I'm actually getting a better truck with less miles than I wanted for a couple thousand more than I already paid. But I got pictures of the underbody. My mechanic looked at them, sent them off. So I think, like I said, I'm going to go out of this year a little beat up, but putting my best foot forward into this new decade and growing. I look forward to growing with all of you. I look forward to seeing what you do with your businesses. If you haven't made goals, you still have time. Get them written up, get them printed out, put them on your mirror, put them on your desk at your office, put them where you're going to see them every day. Get those goals made and put the subpoints under them of how you're going to reach them. That's going to be huge. That's how you're going to accomplish what you need to accomplish. Just telling yourself in your head that you want to grow your business 20% this year, or you want to hit some gross revenue number, that's not going to do it for you. You may get there, but if you have a way to check that off throughout the year, you're going to do a much better job. So go make those goals. Like I said, Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy New Year, and we will continue this journey in 2020. That's all the time we have for this week. To keep the conversation going, head on over to the Floored-U-Cation Facebook group. Be sure to subscribe so you can hear each and every episode. We can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and most major podcast directories. Don't forget to leave a review and let us know what you think about the show. If you'd like to be a guest, have questions or feedback, you can email us at flooreducation@gmail.com. You can help support the show by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/flooreducation. If you need a discount on your tools, check out toolsforflooring.com and use discount code FLOORED for 5% off. Remember, your education never stops.